I am Georgia, and in this video, I want to talk about intuition. What is intuition, and what if your intuition is leading you towards something you don't want to experience? So, I will start off by saying that I was the most firm believer about the existence of intuition. And it does exist in a certain way, but it's not what we think it is. We think that intuition is just something that comes from the divine or something, that we have like an inner sense of knowing about what is going to happen. But what if? I mean, that can be useful as long as it's something that benefit us. Because if we're starting to feel intuitive about something that we don't want to experience, we are basically doing a disservice to ourselves. So this topic about intuition came out because recently I watched a video about a YouTuber that I used to follow a lot, but then after I completely shifted my mindset today, after watching that video, I realized that this person is kind of like has a lot of limiting beliefs or doesn't really have a clear idea about how reality really is created, because this person was talking about health issues in the sense that they have been noticing signs about their health and they thought it was their intuition. So I don't know what happened, I have no idea, but this thing kind of stuck with me because I'm like, if we are creating our reality creation covers every aspect of our life. So how can you be the creator that creates like millions of dollars? How can you be the creator that creates the perfect love life, but when it comes to your health, you think that it's your intuition talking? That doesn't add up to me, because if we are creators, we create everything from A to Z. This person might have noticed like signs from their body. When we notice something different than usual, that's the moment when we have a choice and we can decide to either pay attention to the fact that we noticed a change in our health. It happened to me, it's just like a very small example that can bring you clarity though, because if you approach everything that you don't want to with this approach, then you will be fine, whatever. So I think it was like weeks ago, I noticed a little mark on my skin that usually was not there, or it was there but it had like a different aspect, and my mind immediately went to my ego mind, the one that lives based off fear, was like, oh my god, that must be skin cancer. and then I told myself, wait a minute, that's not it, that's not skin cancer, just keep it checked. For 1 second I could have spiraled, but I didn't, and I just told myself, let's keep checking this thing. Anyways, I think it will be okay, it's just me overreacting right now, it's not a big deal. And then I just forgot about it, and I checked that thing like not too long ago, like even recently, and it has completely disappeared, or whatever that was nothing. So that is the moment when we notice something different in our health. We have a choice. I could have spiraled and maybe it was not a skin cancer or anything, but in the moment that I start to feed into that belief, it will manifest. So I could have let my fear come up from inside of me and build up on that, and like checking on that and being stressed about that and going on visits or whatever. But instead I choose to just let that go, because infinite possibilities exist. So in that moment I could have choose the way that led me to believe that I was developing skin cancer or a condition, whatever condition, and instead I choose the way that brought me to know that it was nothing, it was not a big deal. So I also wanted to talk about intuition, because maybe somebody can feel that they are intuitive about something, and let me tell you how this can develop. For example, I start to get sick a little bit more often. I start to notice like maybe my hair falling off or like any other sign that is related to my health. I could take it for what it is. I could assume it to be like so many different things. For example, that I'm just stressed, that it's just a moment, that I will be healthy again very soon, or I can start to overthink about that and assume that it is something worse. And we are free to choose whatever. This is why I think that intuition is not something that intuition is a thought that you keep having and you don't even notice it, because maybe you have bits here and there about thoughts that just cross your mind for a little while and you don't even pay attention to them, but they little by little start to build up. So I was talking about intuition being a thought that, even if it's like underlying thought, it builds up more and more in our brains and we don't even recognize it until we start to think that it's our intuition. I recently heard a story from someone, and they were telling me that a person that they know was talking to them about the fact that they felt their partner was cheating on them. And this person asked this other person, like, did your partner give you signs? Is it more absent, using his phone more often? Is it coming home later than usual? What is it giving you signs? And this person was like, no, it's just like the same. And then what it is about? And she said that she felt it. But you choose to believe in that. Intuition is whatever you choose to believe in. And if for one single moment you realize that you are feeling intuitive about something that you don't want to happen, you have to realize that it's your choice to believe in that. I had a sort of intuition months ago that freaked me out because it was about something that I didn't want to experience. And I was so scared of it because I'm like, is it my intuition? Because if I'm intuitive about this thing, then I don't want to experience that. I was so scared. And then I realized that it was just my fear talking through me. It was my fear. This is why sometimes our intuition, if they are based off fear, they're not intuition. They're not intuition, it's just our ego that must find something wrong with whatever is happening. Because this happened to me when I was in like a very stable, quiet period of my life. I thought it was my intuition because we are conditioned to believe that good times never last, or that life is about up and downs, as I mentioned before. Or we're conditioned that we have to go through suffering to evolve or something like that. So as it was like a very stable period of my life, this sort of intuition hit me, which was not intuition, and made me feel like an intense fear that something was gonna happen. But that was not my intuition. That was fear talking through me. And this thought did not come out of nowhere, because I have been reading things and listening to people talk about growth in life experiences, this and that. So I soaked it up unconsciously, and then at one point I was full up with fear and I was questioning myself where it came from. I thought it was my intuition, but turns out it was not, because it's like a constant thought that I was exposed to that brought me to feel that type of intuition, that type of fear, even though it was just a thought. But I had to bring myself out of that state. I had first thing that I had to do was to pull out myself of that state where I realized that it was not intuition. this is how it works. I use intuition only if it benefits me. For example, if I have an intuitive feeling about somebody being, I don't know, being my life partner, but I don't have any physical proof of that, I will rely on my intuition. Because it's not intuition that comes from fear, but it's intuition that comes from who I am. Okay. So in that sense, it is something that is useful to me, so I use it that way. But if it's a sort of intuition that comes from fear, it's usually never intuition, but it's your ego talking. We don't have to think statistically. Manifestation and life creation, or reality creation, is not about statistics. It is about embodying who we are, what we want to experience, who we are. Even if you hear other people's stories, and even if you read articles about sudden deaths or like sudden accidents or like things you would never think of, you know, unexpected things can happen. But if I'm only focused on the positive, if I'm only focused, if my intuition is only focused on what I want, if my intuition is whatever thing I choose, I could have an intuition right now about health issues. Let's say that I start to get worried about my health. If I start to get worried about my health, I will notice signs here and there about my health having issues, because our reticular activating system works for us in the sense that whatever we focus on will be expanded even more. So of course, you will see more and more proof of that, and you will think they are signs, but they're not signs. It's just your reticular activating system working. So, and this used to stress me a lot, because whenever I was focused on those things that I didn't want to happen, all I could see on like Instagram reels, or I could hear people talking about that, or I could hear people having the same experience, and I thought it was my intuition that was leading me to that. So it took me a while to pull myself out of that state. And whenever I would see, for example, Instagram reels about what I did not want to experience, I just let that go. I told myself, that is not my reality. I let that go. I can interpret this Instagram reel in a different way. It just doesn't mean anything. So it's also about the meaning that we give to what we see, because I can see anything happening around me and I can give it a meaning. This is what intuition is you choosing to believe something. Because I might have like different type of intuitions, or like sudden thoughts that I might think, that I might interpret as intuition. But if they are something that I don't want to experience, I just repel them. Not repel them, I decide not to believe them, because I will not give power to those thoughts, because I have the power. I'm in control, not those thoughts that just suddenly appear in my brain, you know? I'm not giving those thoughts any power. It's not even those thoughts that create, but it's me deciding to believe those thoughts. So if anything just crosses my brain, I can decide not to believe those thoughts. And it doesn't have to be hard. I don't have to push them away. I don't have to repel them. I don't have to flip them. The only thing that I can do is not giving them any power. Just like letting them pass by, just letting them cross my brain, but not even engaging with them. If I have an intuition about something that I want to experience instead, that is probably my higher self aligning with the human being me, with the human version of me. It's like aligning, it's like telling me, look, this is meant for you. Or like whenever you feel your intuition about somebody being your life partner, or whenever you feel like a certain career being your career, when you feel that strong desire, that can be called, that is like a sort of intuition, that is talking to you through your higher self. And if it's something that you want to experience, you can choose to believe in that. Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. A notification from somebody that I haven't heard from in a while. And I am starting to give attention and energies only to those people that I want to have a connection with. So I'm starting to embody the type of I'm starting to embody the version of me that doesn't really waste any time. And it's not to be like, it's not to be a bitch or anything, because I'm not like that. It's just to preserve my energies and my mental well-being. I just want to engage with those people that I really want to talk to, and I really want to, you know, I'm done with casual conversation. I'm done with casual friendships. I'm done with casual anything. So I am exclusive. My energy is exclusive. I'm working every day to become a better person, so I am not engaging with anything that is not benefiting me. It does make me feel good because it's something that I should have always done, but I never had the courage to do. So also telling you to really preserve your energy, preserve your well-being.